Hi, I'm BJ, and this is the Arcane Alienist Podcast. All right, RPG Day 2023 continues. We are today 26 and 27. My favorite character sheet is the prompt for day 26. Favorite character sheet. I have a love-hate relationships with character sheets. Um, I think character sheets have to be useful. They sometimes get overwhelming, but of course that sometimes is a reflection of when you've got a complex game, you're going to have a complex character sheet, right? Um, what I don't like, they're supposed to be positive though, right? I'm talking about what I don't like. Let's talk about what I do like. What I like in a character sheet is when it's very uncluttered. We'll phrase it that way, where it's just it's easy to find the information you need, and there's enough room to write what you need. So form fillable character sheets are mine, particularly when it will adjust the font size to the field you've got when you're going to print it out or look at it on a screen, so that everything that you need to put is there for reference. The great character sheets are the ones that you can use without having to crack the book. Except for maybe to look at spell descriptions. But do I have a particular favorite character sheet? Um, I don't know if I do. Again, the character sheet is going to be dictated by the game itself. Um, I I'm always impressed if you look at some of the retro clones of old school D&D, particularly the different versions of basic D&D, BX or Moldvay, where people are able to put their character sheet on an index card. That is great. Now, you can't do that in more complex games, but the idea that it's just what I need, just a few things I need to look at and run the game. That would be my favorite type of character sheet. But again, it's hard to pick a specific character sheet for a specific game or a specific edition of a specific game that jumps out to me as being a favorite character sheet. I did find a couple years ago when I was going through some boxes of stuff I'd had from my parents' house and I never looked through. Um, some of my original stuff from when I was in junior high and high school, and I found some handmade character sheets that I had kind of used a ruler to create by hand and then taken and had photocopies made. This would have been the late 80s, for us to use. Um, so it was my kind of hand drawn version of an AD&D character sheet. But I had the one that reflected my first character. So that's a character sheet of my first character that holds a lot of uh, favorite over me just from nostalgia. But that's more about where that sheet came from, not about the design of the sheet or you know the utility of the sheet or how it looks or anything. Um, so I don't know if that's an adequate answer. I guess there's no correct answer in RPG a day 23. So those are my thoughts on character sheets. Um, Games I would like a new edition of day 27. Oh, there's a landmine. I don't know that I'd like a new edition of anything. Um, you know, so many of the games that you like, when you've been gaming long enough are available as PDFs or secondhand on through eBay or other places that you can find them. It's not like it's impossible to track down games you want to play, older games. I don't know of any game is just screaming to me that it needs a new edition. Um, so that's really maybe a new edition of it. I don't know that there's a current DC Heroes role playing game. I know Marvel's got one, so maybe a DC Heroes. Although you could play the rules for the Marvel role playing game would let you play DC Heroes. You could make either the existing DC heroes, or you could make superheroes and just set it in the DC universe instead of the Marvel universe. But it'd be cool to see a good DC heroes role playing um, game. So a new edition of DC. most of the kind of intellectual properties that I'm interested in have plenty of existing games: Star Wars, Star Trek, Conan, Middle Earth. I'd like to see it. I don't know if anybody's ever done one, but a good He-Man Masters of the Universe role-playing game. But that's not an edition. I don't know that there's actually been. There never was a role-playing game based on Masters of the Universe. That's a tough one this time around. Games I'd like a new edition of. I'm looking around the room right now to see if there's anything that just jumps out that I'd like a new edition of that I haven't seen or that I feel like needs to be tweaked or revised or brought up to date. Something that I'm surprised has not happened is and I know there was a little bit of a friction between new TSR and Ernie Gygax and those guys and Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast, but I'm really surprised, as popular as D&D has become, that Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro haven't gone back and looked at some of the games they still kind of own outright, like Star Frontiers, Top Secret. Do they do Top Secret? Maybe not, but they've got that. They have those other genres of games that they kind of own outright, that they could capitalize on to try to produce some other role-playing games. I'm surprised they haven't done that. So as far as a new edition, I mean, the old editions are probably fine, but if you wanted to look at those kinds of games, the other TSR games for science fiction and space opera and spycraft and Westerns and things like that they haven't tried to at least do a sort of modernized version of those games. I would be interested to see what they could come up with. But yeah, they don't. I don't know that there's just a game where I'm thinking, oh, I love it, but they just need to change. I mean, most of the games I find that I enjoy, I already enjoy them, and if there's something wrong with them, we can house rule that. We don't need a whole new set of books to go buy and track down and a whole new system to learn, right? So that's it for character sheets. I guess this is kind of a dud episode. I don't know. There's some musings here, but not really any specific answers in terms of favorite character sheets and games I'd like a new edition of. But that's it. So thanks for listening. I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for listening to the Arcane Alienist podcast. The music you're hearing is Come and Get It by Scott Holmes Music. The cover art is by Dave Bone. Be sure to check out his stuff at ironseer.com. You can leave me a message. I have my SpeakPipe account linked to the show description. You can also send me an email at arcane.alienist@gmail.com. Just embed a voice memo, or I'll just read the text to your email during a future episode. Once again, thanks so much for listening.